Hello everyone. Welcome to this workshop on OSINT. This is what we will be doing for this workshop. We are go over what OSINT is, and there's three main topics for OSINT. The first one is Google Dork. The second one is geolocating. And the last one is person search. Before I begin, I have to make a ethical disclaimer. This is for education purpose, and just don't use this information to do malicious things. And lastly, you have to respect people's privacy. That out of the way, we can start looking at OSINT. So OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. It basically means any information that you can find publicly. This could mean social media, web pages, online news, and online video platform like YouTube. And here's a framework that we will use, or you can reference. What this framework does is it shows you the things that you can search, that you can find publicly. You can find, for example, social network. These are the main social network. There's telephone numbers. A lot of sites that you can. This is the popular one. Fine, and yeah, there's a lot of useful sites on here that you can use for collecting OSINT. Now let's move on to the next topic. So before that, when collecting OSINT, there's some questions you should ask yourself. The first one is, what am I looking for? I'm looking for some email address or someone's phone number. And second thing you should consider is what or who is my target? Could this be a company or someone's employee? And next thing you should consider is what's my end goal? Like what information you should collect and stop there. Maybe you should stop at just a phone number, and then you can proceed to the next attack. The last two are concerning about the tools. How will I find my target? You usually find your target online. That's most of the case. And the first topic we'll go with Google Dork. So clarify what Google Dork is. It's basically an advanced Google search, and you can. Let me show you what you mean. So there are advanced operators that you can use in a Google search. If you include quotation around the word, that means you want to find the exact word. Without the quotation, it will only show you a search results that is related to the word. If you have site, you're searching for a specific site. And in title, you're searching for a specific page title. You have an in URL, and if you want to search a specific part of the URL, and there's also in text, that's searching for the page content. And lastly, you can also search with file types like PDF or text files. And I have examples that hopefully makes this clear. So what you can do to find public password or usernames is use in-text username. And we're mainly looking at log files that is publicly exposed. This goes the same thing for password. So if I do a Google search, you can find some password that's public. This, you can find an email. And that's pretty much it. Same thing with password. So, find password like these. And this is just a Google search. And we can also look at database passwords. And we can also find FTP services. What this service does is that it's a file transfer protocol. Basically, you can host file online. I have an example here that we can show you. Let's see. Find one. So as you can see, this website hosted files here that you can look through. And you might be able to find some interesting files or not. So that's pretty much FTP. And we can also find webcams, like public exposed webcams. I'll show you what that means. Something very focused. As you can see, this is some kind of a webcam on the tower or building. So let's look at a couple more. Some kind of bridge. There is public cameras. But pretty interesting that you're able to look through this. And lastly, that is interesting is vulnerability reports. What a vulnerability report is so I can find that. basically a report that tells you the vulnerability of the company. So as you can see, it's not critical. And you can see the vulnerability here, and if they are not, if they haven't patched it, you might be able to exploit these. And you just put it publicly for you to see. So yeah, that's Google Dork. If you guys have any questions.
Can you find a security report on any company?
Not every company. Some might just upload it publicly. You might never know. That's the thing.
I think someone had a question about something being public. I'm not sure what they were referring to.
Well, if you don't host your webcam services online, and just keep them local on the local network. This public webcam is probably let's see, kind of like security cameras.
You want to show them Showdown?
Show them?
Yeah. The webcams that you can definitely find on a place called Showdown.
You talking about this?
Yeah.
Do I have to log in? Let's do a search. I haven't used this yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I don't use it that much. But on here, you can basically find open webcams, and you can just look through them. So you can look through a webcam that's like on in somewhere in Europe or some other place because it's misconfigured, just open to the public.
Yeah. All right. The exercise for you guys. So this practice is collect OSINT from Gallup, student help, and see if you can find any passwords. One of the hints is look through the examples. I'll show you guys. So the first step I would just use the in-text password, also the target. I put them in quotation mark so that I can get a match. If I specify database password. Should I misspell the second word? So I can't find anything with password, so I just try the database password and everything. I think. And if you get to here, that means you're able to find the password. Do you guys have any questions about getting? If not, we can move on to the next topic. Yeah, these are public information. It's just like a Google search. There's nothing illegal about it. And it's kind of technically their fault to put this publicly. They're supposed to hide this. So the next topic is geolocating. Geolocating is more about image analysis. Before that, there's all techniques on image analysis. The first one is metadata. It's usually data that comes before the actual data, like the image data. It sometimes shows the size of the image, maybe the author or the camera that took the image. And most importantly, we're looking for location. Some images may include locations data. And unfortunately, most social media kind of strips the data for privacy reasons. And there's an online metadata viewer that you guys can use. There's also a reverse image search. An interesting tip for reverse image search is that you can crop out unique features of an image, maybe like a tree or a building, and you might get some search with that. And two primary search engine there is TinEye and Google Image. Lastly, there's Maps. Google Maps Street View is useful to identify the locations and to kind of verify if the location is correct. There's Google Earth that also helps with it. And lastly, the Yandex map is mostly for Europe and Russia. So the next part is image analysis. So when you look at the image and try to find the location of it, you're mostly looking for signage, as some kind of maybe sign that shows where they're at, maybe a street sign or a sign of a building that shows the building name, and also landmarks. Maybe there's a tower that behinds the person. And another important factor is looking for the weather, whether it's sunny at that day or cloudy. The resources useful for geolocating. This is Bellingcat. It's a popular site for image or can take a look at one of the articles. And These articles are very detailed. And this article is looking at whether Ethiopia has an palm draw. And these pictures, they're analyzing this from further. Seems. So from satellite images, they're able to identify drones. And here they're analyzing the feature of the drone. And it's pretty useful and to see how they're able to analyze the image and maybe learn from it. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? So now we can move on to the practice. There's two images and try to find the location of each image. I should probably go over the exercise. Okay. So the first image. So we have a red building and kind of able to see some letter. We zoom way in. It says English National Dialect. I'll try to search that. Seems like we're able to find this building. I'll just search it. It's the first one. Yep. I think we can verify this with street view. It's almost the exact same thing, but it seems like this building is still under construction. So yeah. So we found the first one just by looking at any signage, letters. You guys have any questions? We'll move on to the second image. So for this one specifically, we're going to look at the metadata. So we're using this online metadata view. And I click on the download. Use the original. And I've just copied the link location. And it gives us the location data. That's inside the image. Seems like this site didn't script the metadata. We're able to look at what that is. I don't think they have. Shoot. So this is location, I guess. But we can't remember it. Does that have any questions? Now we can move on to the last topic, which is a person search. So when we try to find a person online, usually looking for phone numbers, names, and address. So there are 3 websites that you can use to do this. And lastly, we're looking at social media. And so basically the username. And you can use this website to search if a username has that social media. And one of the tips into finding that person is by looking through their family and relatives. And we also look into their social media. And try to find any username. Okay. And it's kind of a hard hit or miss for finding a person. Because they might not really have an online presence. So it kind of really depends. And we have a practice. I'll give you guys 5 minutes to work on this. Yeah, it's just a random one.
All right, for sure. I was like, who's this?
Are you able to find anything?
Yeah. I found some stuff.
Is anyone able to find what kind of job they have? Has anyone find the phone number? It's kind of their location, kind of like a hint. It stands for San Diego. I guess we can go for this purpose. First thing is just a Google search. They're able to find their LinkedIn. And we're able to find their Facebook. That sounds like Instagram. So we can kind of see the location somewhere in San Diego. And looks like the last name is pretty unique. And I can specify a word match for the last name and the location. Perhaps some that shows up. This one has a match. Next. So we kind of find the location. Let's look at the other two things that we found for social media. Specifically, we look at their Instagram. They kind of expose their phone number publicly. That's the major things that you're trying to find. And sometimes people might accidentally expose their personal information that we just saw. So, on a closing thought, what we can do is try to find OSINT, maybe from friends or people that's close to you, and see if they have put their personal information online, and try to warn them about it. What do you mean by website owners? How about the address one? They'll probably come from public informations. I don't know exactly the source of it. I'm not sure if Dr. Go has advanced search like Google Dork. So that's a workshop on OSINT.